It has been 10 years since I have uploaded my first ever video on YouTube. In fact, this spot nearly 4 years ago was when I announced that I would be going full time on YouTube. And looking a bit more into detail about that now, Newcastle's just had their takeover. I was planning to go full time on YouTube eventually, but I never had the courage and never had that moment where it was going to happen now. I had a few drinks on a takeover night and I was a bit all over the place in my head. But one thing that was clear and certain, university sent a text message, a massive essay telling them I am not coming back in tomorrow. I will never ever come back. This is what I'm going to do now. And I've stuck by it. I never ever went back and I don't regret a single bit about it. In fact, I look back at it, I would say it's the best ever thing I've done in terms of football related stuff. Now, you guys, Newcastle fans watching, you'll say that is the best day of your lives in terms of Newcastle and anything football related, but that's always going to be my second best day. Doing this now and having the privilege and honour of being able to do videos for you will always be number one for me. And I want to start the video off by addressing that because, well, if you guys have been subscribed for a decent amount of time now, you would have known that I've also had the privilege and honour of being able to be a finalist at the Football Content Awards back in 2022, 23, and last year being 2024. If you remember at the time, I walked away from the Football Content Awards being pretty pissed off last year. And I'm going to be honest, I stand by it. I said at the time I would not be going back this year, and I'm standing by it. I'm not going back this year. And it's at that time of the year now where football content creators have the chance to nominate themselves to be able to be selected as a finalist. So there's Newcastle content creators that you guys know, and there's football content creators that you guys know that are all filling the forms out now, that are all excited to go to the Football Content Awards. But I personally wanted to tell you my experience, because looking lads that are 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old going with their parents, it's their first time being able to do an event like that. And it reminds me of where I first was on YouTube, and I feel like now, the situation I'm in, if I don't speak out and if I don't have my say, because it's something I'm quite strong about, and if I'm not able to express myself, I'm not being authentic, I'm not telling you guys the truth, and I'm not doing what I should be doing where I am. And I know you guys watching this video, a lot of you aren't ever going to be at the FCAs. I can understand why you wouldn't care, but there's a lot of people out there that do care, and I want to be honest to you all, and I promise you, no matter what happens down the line, I will always be honest, I'll always be truthful and authentic to you, and that's a promise I'll always make no matter what happens tomorrow. But going on the topic of the FCA, so what is the Football Content Awards? Now, it is an event that is hosted on a yearly basis that is designed to showcase football and media. And when I mean football media, content creators, sport companies, just everything football related. And it's designed in a competitive sense to bring everyone together and to reward those who have done the best throughout the year. So there are awards available in plenty of different categories, and I've been honoured to be able to be selected as a finalist in 6 different categories over the years, including 3 last year. Now, why am I not going back? The first point I wanted to make is, well, for a football content creator, it's got worse as the years progressed, and as a football content creator, I don't feel like the organisers respect us, if that makes any sense. Now, what used to happen for a football content creator, if you were selected as a finalist, you would be allowed to go for free. So you'll be invited down. If you want to bring a +1, they have to pay full price. But when it was 2022, I believe my mate who went at the time, I think he paid £80 to go. I don't remember the exact price, but I believe it was £80 now. Last year at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was the first time ever where a content creator has been selected as a finalist has to pay to go themselves. So I had to pay £100 to go to an award ceremony where I'm a finalist in 3 different categories. Now, I don't want to come across as arrogant or cocky or believing that I'm entitled to something, but I'm paying £100 to go to my own award ceremony. And this was an event where Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I get it's an expensive venue. I get that the organisers need to make a lot of money back, but the year prior, I was at Liverpool Stadium, Anfield. I got there for free. That would have been an expensive venue where it's obviously cost the organisers a lot of money, but that's not my only issue. That's my only issue. I probably wouldn't be here making a video now. Whether I had to pay or not is not the biggest thing. But even the seats themselves, look at where you were sat for £100. Just look at the state of those seats. It's that far back. They've actually got TVs installed in the walls just so you can see the screen at the front. That's how bad these seats were. I mean, you guys don't need me to complain in this video to tell you those seats are bad. They're insultingly bad. We are so far out of the way, we might as well not even be there. It spits on every single one of us, and I think there's a difference between a bigger content creator and a smaller content creator as well. Now, if you look at one of the categories I was in, I mean, look at the state of this category, by the way. Like Fabrizio Romano were in that category now. Fabrizio Romano was not at the FCAs last year, but let's say Fabrizio Romano has decided that he would be going to the Football Content Awards. Do you honestly think the organisers will charge him £100 and also stick him at the back with the rest of those seats looking like a bunch of losers, to be honest, just stuck so far out of the way? Do you think the organisers would do that for Fabrizio Romano? No chance would they. He'll get the red carpet treatment, he'd be let in for free, they would treat him with the most respect possible, he'll get the most attention, he'll get the most time, and he'll win rewards as well. And that's just not fair. Now, I know Fabrizio Romano is one of the world's biggest journalists. I get that in the football media, one of the biggest people out there. I get that the organisers are always going to prioritise a guy like him over me. But we are in the same category. In a competitive stance, you have to be fair to every single person. If you are going to pick someone over someone else, why would I go back there next year when I know that I'm not going to be treated with the same respect as someone else? And you have to have that mentality. Yes, I'm never ever going to be as big as someone like Fabrizio Romano, but you need to have that mindset where if someone not treating you well, you should obviously know when to walk away and know when to say something about it, because it's not just me and it's not just someone else, it's everyone. A couple of years ago, they treated us with a lot of respect. I'm willing to bet when the Football Content Awards first started, it would have been authentic, it would have came across well, they would have done it for the right intentions at first. But as more years progress, it's become more sponsor led. You look at the amount of sponsors they had last year, they are doing well for themselves. They do not need to be charging people £100 to go. Not to mention, I think for content creators as well, there's a bit of a misconception that you're going to see your favourite content creators there. A couple of years ago, it was that case. I remember seeing AFTV. I remember meeting the Manchester content creators. I remember meeting ex-football players, but it's just not the same thing anymore. With the exception of Stunt Peg last year, that was the first time I met her. Real down to earth, lovely girl, came across well. Also met Mark White, of course, the Dorking Wanderers manager. Again, first time I ever met him, but he came across well. It was a pleasure speaking to him. I didn't get a chance to meet her, but I know a lot of you guys watch. Alice was there as well. Up and coming content creator. She's done well for herself. But with the exception of them, it's more content creators you probably haven't heard of before, ones that are just starting off. And that's not a bad thing. I would say that's a good thing, if anything. But there's a massive misconception, especially for content creators that are going, that you think you're going to meet the biggest stars there. You think you're going to meet massive channels and massive personnel. There's a lot of people who are in the nominees, yes, but most of those aren't in attendance. And for example, the overlap might be in the attendance, but it's not Gary Neville, it's not Paul Scholes, and it's not Jamie Carragher. It's the producers and those behind the scenes. And again, that's not a bad thing, but I must address that it's a misconception that you are going to see everyone you watch on YouTube, because most of them don't go anymore. And if you were to ask the question to those, why do a lot of them not go anymore? I feel like a lot of them would give you a similar answer. But how does someone win at the Football Content Awards now? It's been stated on the website that 50% is done by the judges and 50% is done by you guys watching this video, which in my opinion is a problem, because no matter what any of you in this video vote for, no matter what you guys do, there is still a possibility that no matter what you do, the judges will still pick who wins. And what do you pick someone off? How does a content creator win and how does a content creator lose? What do you actually look at and what variables do you pick when you decide who wins and who loses? Because I personally don't understand what you would do. Do you pick someone off how many subscribers do they have? Do you pick someone off how many views they get? Do you pick someone off who's done the best throughout the year? Do you pick your favourite content creator? Like, what do you actually do to pick a winner and pick a loser? Because I think the more years you go at the Football Content Awards, I don't want to make any accusations, I don't want to come across as bitter or annoyed, but the more years you go, you realise that the same people are winning, and these are content creators that sometimes you never heard of them, and then all of a sudden there's a table of 20 of them there, and all of a sudden they're winning the award. Like, and then you look at it and you go, well, that looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it? And that's not me accusing them of anything, but when you walk away as a content creator, especially after spending that money, after travelling down all day, it does get under your skin, and it does frustrate you, and it's something that I think is a legitimate point to make. Now, I will always say, in terms of the awards, and I know you guys as well, if any content creators are watching, I get that it's a massive occasion. I get you would love nothing more than to win an award and to go back home and to be able to show it off. But let's be honest, it does not change your life now. This is going to sound cheesy and corny, but my award is waking up in the morning and seeing that my family is healthy and well. My award is waking up in the morning, seeing that my football club, Newcastle United, is having its most successful time in my lifetime. My award is waking up in the morning and just seeing that, being able to do what I've always wanted to do in my life, and being able to do the content that I want for you guys. And I know that comes across as proper cheesy, but that's what matters to me. A piece of glass with my name on it doesn't change my life. It's not like, for example, you get an award and there's like a cash prize. It's not like you're getting a financial gain or you're getting something from it that's actually going to change your life. I've had DMs, for example, when I made a post about this a couple of days ago. I've had content creators come across and say that I'm going to put this award on my CV if I win. Now, without being that guy, without trying to put anyone down, but let's be honest, an employer's not going to go, oh, this guy's won the Football Content Award back in 2022. We're going to hire him over someone else. I get that it makes you look good. I get it when you stick it on the wall, you want to show it off. But let's be honest, it's just not going to change your life. It's not groundbreaking outside of a personal achievement for you, and it's not something that's going to dictate what you guys do on YouTube. And I'm always going to say this now, and I'm always going to be strong on this, but always believe in yourself. No matter what happens, if you go there, if you don't win, walk away from it and just make sure you put everything into YouTube, and make sure if you're on social media and if you want to get somewhere in life in terms of social media content, always give it your best and always be authentic. Be honest to who you're speaking to. I'm speaking to people now like how I would in real life now. I know speaking to a camera and speaking to someone in person is two completely different things, but I do try to come across on here as if I would in real life, and that's always the most important thing to do. You want to keep connected to your audience so they can engage with you and they can also connect to you as well. So it's always a balance you got to do, but just make sure you be true to yourselves. And if you are desperate and if you are someone that wants to win an award, now YouTube has their own awards. 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, and 10 million subscribers, you are getting rewards from YouTube themselves. Now, I know 1 million, 10 million is going to be quite hard to do. Now, 100,000, in my opinion, is something that is attainable. Now, I've been on here for a long time. Yes, I'm still quite far off. I'm around the 60,000 mark now, but that's something that I personally, well, I would never ever claim that I'm going to get it, because you aren't guaranteed anything in life. But that is something personally that I will push and make sure I do everything in my power to make sure one day I can potentially get something like that. And that's the real accomplishment. You can put that on your wall. That's something that you can keep with you the rest of your life, because that's something that you yourself has done. And that's the real, I guess, YouTuber dream you would call it. That's where you want to be in life. And that's something that you can get yourselves without needing to spend hundreds of pounds to go to an award ceremony where someone you don't know picks whether you win or lose in a category with nearly 20 people in it now compared to the 8 that used to be a couple of years ago. There's so many people in it. It is solely designed to make money off you. It's solely designed just to make as much money as possible for an award ceremony, which is not really officiated, to be honest. It's kind of just someone going out of their way to do something, and that's not a bad thing. And I'll say to anyone from the Football Content Awards now, I'm not saying I would never ever go back. I'm just saying I'm not going this year because I didn't like the way we were treated last year. If things get better, I'm sure myself and many other content creators that don't go anymore, I'm sure a lot of people will go back, but I don't feel like they've treated content creators well, and I want to be straight up about it. And that's not me trying to start some beef or not me trying to start something with someone, but I just want to be honest, because I remember walking away last year. I was angry, I was upset, and it was at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. For me, I'm from Newcastle, so that's a 3 hour train down there. The train itself would have cost me around £100. Ticket, of course, was £100, and I've got to stay in a hotel tonight as well. So you're looking at around a £300 trip for me. And I walk away being pissed off and thinking that, well, I've been done dirty in some respects. So yeah, I walk away and I just didn't like it. I really didn't like it last year, and that was my, I guess, my breaking point. I'm not going back this year. I'm not going to nominate myself in the award this year. Maybe in a year or a couple of years' time, if things are looking good and people speak well about the event, yeah, sure, I'll be happy to go back. If the organisers want me back, of course, they may feel differently about that. But I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. Newcastle, obviously, we've got European football next season. I'm going to be quite busy throughout this season. I've got a lot of things going on, and I've got a lot of things that I care a lot more about. My family comes first, and you guys come first, and YouTube and the awards ceremony is just not going to be at the top of my priority list, especially if I don't feel like they've been great with us. So that's my opinion. Yeah, if you guys feel differently about it, please do let me know down below. I'm sorry if some of you Newcastle fans watching this video feel like I'm just been rambling on and this video's got bugger all to do with you, and you come across feeling like, well, Adam, what are you doing here? But I remember going to Anfield a couple of years ago, and when I speak about who wins and who loses before, Ellis Platten. Now, I remember him quite well. I didn't get a chance to meet him, but back in 2023, he went there. I feel like it's the only time he went there as well, but he went there. had a massive breakout year. He's still doing amazingly well now, and his sky's the limit for him. But I remember back in 2023, he has a very good year. And I mean, he didn't even get top three in his category. And with all due respect, someone won that I'd never heard of before. And I'm kind of scratching my head going, well, Alice Platten's broke his absolute arse off. He's clearly done well for himself. I believe he had 6 or 7 people with him as well. So he kind of brought his family with him. He didn't even get a top three. And I'm kind of looking back, well, what's this guy got to do? And if he's not getting something, then what chance do I have, or what chance does someone else have? And I just remember walking away that day, especially, I don't know why I look back at Platten so much, but I remember looking back at Ellis that day and I'm thinking, well, what the F, like, what does he have to do to win something? And I just kind of fell out of it. Last year was destroyed. I put the Camels back, though. I couldn't stand it last year. They really didn't treat us with respect. It was all the media personnel and all the Sky companies, and it was all the different TV broadcasters at the front. Content creators were the ones that were paying all the way at the back, £100 to sit in some shite seats. You couldn't even see the screen. They weren't even naming the names out anymore when they had the announcer at the front, because there's that many people in a category. They just showed a bunch of people on the screen and then they said the winners. Like, there's that many people now, they don't even announce you out one by one anymore. It's like little things like that where throughout the day you just pick on it. It just proper does your head in. Yeah, it just got worse and worse every single year. I'm just not going back this year. It's that simple. You organisers watching, I'm sorry if you were negative towards me, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like it now, and that's not me trying to start something with you. I'm being truthful. I would love to go back. I would love to go back when things are better, but I didn't like it last year. You didn't show us respect, and I'm sticking by my words and I'm sticking by my guns, because you guys deserve the truth, and I was annoyed last year, and I'm not gonna go into any more detail about it. It is what it is, but if you guys obviously appreciate what I said, and just let me know, I suppose. But take care, and we'll be back to the regular content soon.